Hello everybody and welcome back to the meditation channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is day 2 of the healing series for addiction and recovery that I started yesterday out of a whim. And I actually started it because I mentioned that I could not record meditations because I had some technical issues, which by the way, I solved. And by I mean my husband, because he's technologically more savvy than I am. So all good, I'm back to making meditations, but I think I'm just going to continue doing these series because I think it'll be beneficial. Obviously, please let me know in the comments below if this is helping you, if this is something that you're benefiting from, because obviously it will inspire me to make more videos like this. And of course, guys, I'm always open to suggestions. So if you do have any ideas, send them my way. Okay. So I didn't really have a plan today. I think sometimes it's just good just to get into the healing and then maybe we'll have a conversation about it later. But if you did do yesterday's first healing session, did anything come up during the healing session? Did you discover anything that you were not aware of before? I did talk about meeting your needs. So the mind, this brain of ours, by the way, if you hear squeaking, is my chair. I'm sitting on a wooden chair. Okay, so the mind is a very interesting machine. When we have any type of trauma, what happens is that the brain, we kind of like split. Our soul, our personality kind of splits. Think of it kind of like a water stream, right? And when a trauma happens or an intense event happens, one of those streams kind of breaks off. And this is basically where I really want you guys to start thinking of yourselves as not just one personality, as one you. There are actually many different you. This is why sometimes we want to do something like, hey, I don't want to drink. And then next thing you know, you're at the bar. Or in my case, I don't want to smoke and I'm literally outside smoking. So what ends up happening is that there are many different aspects within us that are going against each other. And we think a lot of the time that we're at the forefront, that we're driving this machine, but then we discover that no, we're actually not. And we don't understand why we do the things that we do. And using is a big coping mechanism. Using is a tool that we're using to try to heal, to try to make ourselves feel better. And I really want you guys to start thinking it from this perspective because it'll help you see things from a different perspective. Everything that you do serves you, even using. So it may feel as though this is a negative thing, judgment on the outside. If you could remove all of that and really ask yourself, what do I gain from using? What do I get from this? Because that is where the secret, that is where the key of your need is. That subconscious need that we talked about, that hidden need that we keep going to the substance to get it from, as opposed to finding other ways to seek it. So once again, for me, it was really about feeling like I belonged, feeling like, I mean, smoking in general for me was a thing that I did to feel like I fit in socially. And then the Mary J, I think it was really just coping with my depression. Not knowing how to be happy, not knowing how to give myself happiness. And when I looked at the layers of that, there was just so much trauma underneath that, because every time as a child I would be happy, something would happen and that happiness would be taken away. So subconsciously what I had learned was that if I am happy, bad things happen to me. So I had to rebuild a relationship with that part of myself to begin with, and not the depressed part of myself, because I was very familiar with that person. I knew that person really well. And believe it or not, the addiction actually kept me in my depression because When your mood goes up and down, you can't find stability emotionally. So of course you're going to keep going up and down, and you're going to go through spouts of depression. What I had to rebuild, and I'm still, by the way, rebuilding, is a relationship with myself who is happy and healthy. It's okay for me to be happy. Now, what I'm dealing with mostly right now is how to be happy in social situations, how to be happy around family, how to feel safe around family. So this is when you start doing the healing and you start realizing the layers and the layers and the layers. But when I started giving that to myself, when I started finding things that did make me happy and stop seeking it from the substance, suddenly I didn't have that need for the substance anymore as much. Now, this is a process, by the way. For some of you, hopefully it's going to be quick. For some of you, it may take some years. It took me years to quit. It wasn't something that happened overnight, but here's the key. I was consistent, I was persistent, and I did daily practices every single day. Every single day. I did not stop searching. I did not stop trying. And above everything else, I believed I could achieve it. So here's a question for you. Do you genuinely believe that you can heal from your addiction? And it's okay if you don't. That's perfectly fine. So once again, I do really encourage many of you to seek help. I did have a therapist. I didn't do the 12-step program, even though I've worked in the 12-step program. For me personally, I wanted to, I just didn't know how. I didn't know how to get involved. I was so alone, I was so isolated that I didn't know how to ask for help. And I'm sure many of you are out there who are dealing with this. So one of the things that I recommend is you go online and see if there's an AA meeting near you, and just join. Just grow up hair and just go. Because that's what I needed to do. And I started looking into it, but I ended up somehow figuring it out on my own. And I think the reason why I ended up figuring it out on my own is because I'm meant to teach it, and I do teach it, and I do help people. I do like 2-hour classes where I teach different topics, and I can't put them all into one video. But I'm going to give you guys some wisdom here and there, hopefully, and some tools that are going to help you. And really, at the end of the day, what helped me the most was meditation. I practice meditation every single day. Why? Our brain creates, in a sense, our reality. So if our brain has control over us, and that includes the subconscious aspects, the aspects of us that we have suppressed, disowned, and denied, it controls our life. So we have to be 3 steps ahead of our brain. So when you are in addiction, you have no control over your brain. I'm pretty sure many of you know this. The first thing you think about is using, the second thing you think about is using, and the third thing you think about is using. It controls everything. So you need to retrain your brain. You need to reprogram this machine, and you need to tell it how to think, when to think, and also be smart enough to be able to listen, to be able to interpret the information that you're receiving. This is not easy, but the biggest and most powerful tool that you can use is meditation. When you meditate, you shut off the outside world. You completely cancel out everything that's happening outside, and you're going within. You're finally listening to yourself. How often do we sit and have a conversation with ourselves? Now, I'm not talking like a crazy person who talks to themselves, okay? But I'm literally, having a conversation. How am I today? How do I feel? Why do I think this? Why do I need this? Why am I feeling this emotion? Where did it start? When was the first time I felt this? We are programmed to not ask these questions. And in fact, we're actually programmed to avoid them and to run away and to find other ways to deal with it. So when you meditate, you're essentially building a relationship with your subconscious mind, because the meditative state really activates that part of your brain and allows you to tap into parts of your brain that normally you wouldn't tap into. And really, the healing doesn't happen on the conscious level, guys. It happens on the subconscious level, because consciously, you're conscious, you're aware. Subconsciously, it's all the stuff that is happening underneath that we're not aware of. 95% of what we do is subconscious. So we need to turn that 95% into 90%, 85%, whatever it may be. We just need to dim down the negative. Of course, we want to keep the subconscious positive programs, but we want to shift the negative programs. So, so much information that I feel overwhelmed sometimes. I don't know how to deliver it all at once, but I'm hoping that this is making sense. So one of the ways that we become aware of the subconscious is, of course, check your thoughts. And one of them is the repetitive thoughts that you have, the cyclical thoughts. You will have very specific thoughts that are on a loop. Might be just words, might be images, might be memories. That's a sign of the subconscious. That is a program that's going on. Another one is emotions. Okay, so the thoughts create the emotions, and the emotions, that chemical reaction that you're getting in your body. So we get addicted to emotions. I was addicted to depression. I loved being depressed. And once again, if I go back to what was I gaining from that depression, believe it or not, I was gaining safety. I was gaining consistency. You know, being depressed all the time kept me at a level that I didn't have to get the high and then the low again. You know, it's better the devil that you know than the devil that you don't know. I rather the pain that I'm familiar with than the pain that I'm not familiar with. I felt comfortable with that personality because I just knew who I was. I was comfortable in social situations as depressed me. Happy me, I don't know who that person is. I don't know how to be happy around people. What does that mean? It's unfamiliar. It's uncharted territory. So what are the emotions that you feel that go on a loop, that you repeat? So if you have depression, that's one of them. That's once again part of your subconscious programming. That's something that is embedded in your programming, and we need to reprogram that. The third one is, what are you reflecting? Or for a better word, what is the world reflecting to you? So let's just say that you have a negative programming with abandonment issues. And of course, you keep attracting people who abandon you. Or you are unable to create relationships. These are things that are ultimately within you that are reflecting on the outside. So that's another thing that it's showing you, the world is showing you, hey, this is going on within you. What's within is also what's above, so below. I don't know what the saying is, but you get it. So it's the law of mirroring. It's like what is happening on the outside is ultimately what's happening on the inside. So if negative things are happening on the outside, instead of being reactive, can you go within and check in with yourself and ask yourself, how am I creating this? And this is not the blame game, okay? Because a lot of the time I find people straight away goes, oh, it's all my fault, I'm a horrible person. No one does this on purpose. It's not the blame game. It's about, how can I show up for myself now and be my own fucking hero? How can I save myself? If I was looking at somebody going through what I'm going through right now, what do they need? How can I give that to them? And then give it to yourself. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the saying, become your own hero. You know, when I was, there was a time in my life that I was not able to create relationships. I couldn't create a partner. And I took myself out on a date. And I started speaking to myself and treating myself the way I wanted somebody to treat me and speak to me and see me and love me. And I manifested that. And I don't mean manifest in the woo-woo sense. It's at the end of the day, people will treat you the way ultimately you treat yourself. So that was a learning curve. You know, I spent years abusing myself. I attracted abusive relationships. There was many years that I was neglecting myself. I didn't attract anyone because no one wants to be around me. So, you know, so once again, it's not a blame game. You want to see it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to go, okay, now I can see exactly what the issue is. Because once again, remember, when things are subconscious, they're not obvious. So we constantly receive signs and information that gives us little bits of gold nuggets that allow us to put the puzzle together. So maybe that's what we're going to do today. I think, once again, guys, I don't start these things with an idea of how I'm going to do the healing sessions, but I guess this is what it's going to be. We're going to do one on reflecting, and just really thinking about the things that we're projecting. And Yeah, so let's do that. Make sure that you're comfortable. Once again, if you prefer, lie down, okay? If you're in the middle of meditation, you decide to sit up and do the whole thing, that's fine. But if you get uncomfortable, please lie down. Don't feel like you have to be stuck in that place. The whole point of the meditation is to get you into a relaxed state, to get you to just quieten down and just go within. Okay, let's begin. All right, so just taking a moment. Deep breath in. And just let go of any tension or any stress that you may be holding on to. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in. Hold. And let it go. 1 more. Deep breath in. Hold. And let it go. And just place your hand above your heart. I always like to start by checking in with yourself, just seeing how you feel today. How does my body feel? What are my thoughts like? Do I feel open? Do I feel closed? Do I feel heavy? Do I feel light? And if you can't tell, that's absolutely fine. No stress. And I want you to visualize now from the palm of your hand a beautiful white light just beaming out into your heart as if you're plugging in and tuning into your heart. And once it reaches your heart, it spreads like the root of a tree. This beautiful white light expands and connects to your heart. And I want you just to take a minute to send yourself some love. And if you don't know how to do that, try. It's all about trying, and it's okay if you fail. It doesn't matter. But the point is you have to start stepping out of your comfort zone. And if you need some assistance, then invite your guides and your angels to channel a white light to you, through your hand, through your own light back into your heart. So assisting you in sending some white light, some love into your heart. And breathe. Feel your chest expand. Feel your heart open up just a little. Maybe taking some of those walls down and trusting this process, trusting yourself, no matter how challenging or difficult that may be today. And I love this saying, and I think many of you should start making this your new mantra. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. And just seeing your heart fill with this white light as if it's activating something that was suppressed, that was hidden. Awakening something within you right now, giving you a glimpse of hope, of light, of love. And when you're ready, retract that white light back into the palm of your hand, and you can rest your hand by your side. So I want you to begin to think about your life. I want you to think about patterns that keep happening over and over and over. And if you're not quite sure, I want you to ask yourself, self, reveal to me the subconscious patterns in my life that are related to my addiction. Allow me to see them with clarity. Reveal them to me now. And we're going to sit in a moment of silence, and I want you to really reflect and just notice what comes up. Notice what information shows up. It might be a memory, it might be a thought, it might be an event. Whatever it may be, just allow. Don't try to control, don't try to predict. Just be in silence and surrender and tell your mind what it is that you need. And while you are feeling and seeing this, just notice your body. Just notice if there is any tension, any tightness, any reaction from your body. Maybe there's some resistance, there's some anger, there's some emotions that come up, and just breathe through it. Just allow it to pass through you. Deepen your breath if you need to. Be strong. And now I want you to go to your mind. And I want you to think, or really become aware of, the repetitive thoughts that you tell yourself over and over again, that broken record that leads you to your addiction, that are connected to your addiction. So once again, let's tell our minds. Mind, reveal to me the patterns, the thoughts, the programming that keep me connected to my addiction, that keep me from using. Reveal this to me now. And once again, just notice if your body reacts, if you get heat, cold, maybe you feel tension again, emotions, electricity, whatever it may be, just be aware. And breathe through it. Take deep breaths if you need to release it. And finally, mind, body, reveal to me the emotions that I'm addicted to that lead me to using. And again, notice the reactions that you receive. Deep breath. Very good. And mind, one more thing. I invite you now to help me understand you so that I may integrate all aspects of you. what it is that I need, that I am seeking within me, that I cannot find outside of my addiction. Reveal that to me now. And once again, just notice if your body's reacting to this, if you're emotionally reacting to this. Breathe through it. And now just inviting your guides and your angels to send you healing light, to send you love, to send you support. And just visualize a beautiful emerald green light above you shine around you, releasing any tension, clearing and cleansing your energy, calming down your nervous system, restoring and rebalancing your energies and your emotions. And finishing this meditation now with something to be grateful for. Thank you. And slowly, slowly returning, coming back to the space, back into your body. Take your time. And when it feels right, you can open your eyes. Whew. Okay, I felt that one. My body was getting I was getting like hot flashes and yeah. How was that? Did you discover anything that you were not aware of before? As you can see, when you go into a meditative state, unexpected information usually comes up, shows up, and it doesn't always present itself in the way that you think. It may be a thought, as I said, it may be emotion, it may be energy that you feel, and it can even be your body reacting to things like mine did, which I was getting like hot flashes and, so everything is a message, everything is trying to tell you something, and it's really important to become familiar with these patterns so that when you recognize them over time, you know what to do with them. And of course, when you recognize them, then you actually finally have a choice. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And I think that's it for today. I will see you for the next healing session. Have a great day.